What is going on, snipers? Naeem Al-Ubaidi here. I hope all of you guys are having a wonderful day today. This is our live stream. If you're watching this after it's published, I know it's a long video. It's actually going to be cut down to the first portion for you guys watching this after it's published, so you don't have to watch the whole video. Don't complain that it's too long. But not all of you guys are going to complain. I'm just saying a lot of you guys do. But anyways, let's go ahead and look at some price breakouts. We're going to be taking some requests today from the audience, and we're also going to be looking at some coins that I've been watching over the past couple of days for potential breakouts, especially after this whole market correction. Now we're going to see a lot of coins breaking out over the next couple of days. So let's dive right into it. So looking at this graph right now, we're looking at Vibe, and we're going to be looking at several different coins, including Electroneum and Tron, BitShares, and so forth. So this is a clear pattern that's forming right here. It's a cup and handle. I'm going to show you guys exactly how this looks. This is our free resource. This is open to all of you guys. I highly implore each and every one of you guys to get on here and expand your wisdom and your knowledge. The link is in the description below. This is our Discord resource. If you go under Trading 101, you can actually pull up how the cup and handle looks right over here. There is an initial breakout followed by this period of consolidation where it rounds about, forms a cup, where you see this potential breakout happen right here where this handle is formed, where you see a minor consolidation still above the support level that's built down here within this cup base, and then that breakout occurs right there. You can see exactly what's happening in that graph is happening here. We'll actually add some indicators here. If you guys are new to Snipers Tube, we're going to be using some basic indicators today. We're going to be using the volume, the 3 moving averages, the relative strength index, or the RSI, as well as the EMA, the moving average exponential. And we're going to go ahead and just utilize those for now. You can see the RSI is down right here. We are still on healthy RSI levels right now. You can see we saw that minor consolidation like you're supposed to see with a cup and handle, and this is really where the top of the cup and handle was formed. And then you saw that we had this huge period of consolidation followed by that rounding bottom there, and then we had this price increase, and then now we saw that consolidation go back down, and then this right here is really where a cup and handle gets to have a little bit of fun, where that price starts to break out. So we're going to be watching Vibe over the next couple of days. If you guys are Patreons and you're receiving our trade alerts, then you guys know we called this one out. So hopefully this can go ahead and follow its pattern to potentially break out there, looking at Satoshi value. By the way, shout out to Marcus Koster. Made an awesome video today on Snipers Tube about the importance of using Satoshi value. I think that was an awesome video. Now let's move on to our next coin, Electroneum. We're going to be using a different type of graph for this one. This is going to be our Cryptopia graph because it's currently not listed on many exchanges, and I kind of want to mention that here really quick about Electroneum. It's only listed on Cryptopia, guys. This is a coin that I've been watching for quite a while now. I was actually a participant in its ICO, and then throughout that phase I've seen this coin really develop into a mature coin where the development team is continuously working on the future projects of Electroneum as they have a huge vision for the coin. Just to give you a quick synapse, you know, the coolest thing for me you know, in terms of my appeal to Electroneum is the fact that they really allow you to utilize their token with ease of use that is comparable to like an Apple type of system where everything is super simple, and many people will be able to understand how to use Electroneum. You know, there's a mobile application. They're going to allow you to mine from your phone. You're not going to have to really set anything up. It's all going to be done on there for you on the back end. They have these really cool systems established. So for example, the phone mining, they're going to have a proof of stake token that will reward you based upon the hash power on your phone without necessarily using your CPU or your GPU on your phone. So it's not taking any power. It's just determining how much power does your phone have, and if you truly were mining, then how much would you be receiving, and then it's almost like a fake mining, right? I think that's pretty cool. I think that will help a lot of the newcomers in the industry kind of get a feel of what mining is, because right now if you go, I was actually with a friend the other day, I was like, yeah, my friend's mining Bitcoin. He's like, mining what? And I'm like, oh, I forgot, you know, this guy isn't in cryptocurrency, so it's kind of different when you say mining to them. They're like, you know, he got a shovel and started like digging the ground, mining. And so, you know, it's important, guys. Mass adoption is important. I think Electroneum has that potential. Anyways, without the promotion there, Electroneum, looking at this graph, there's only so much technicals that we can do here, being the fact that it is a Cryptopia graph. It's not necessarily like a Coinigy or a TradingView graph. So I do want to mention, though, it does look to be that a cup and handle was formed here as well for Electroneum, you see that we had this initial run up. You saw this period of consolidation, this run up, and then now we're seeing a little bit of consolidation. I personally have been putting in a position into Electroneum. I'll actually pull up the coin market cap for you guys. I think this might give you guys a little bit of a better perspective of where this coin is headed. If you pull it down here, it's around 41 or 42 here. It's at 14 cents, 25% up so far. Pretty good, 13% in Satoshi value. You can see here, it's steadily seeing these prices increase and stabilize, right? So we see this increase, stabilization, increase, stabilization, and then now we're increasing again, hopefully to find more stability. And of course, we see these periods of consolidation throughout that uprise in price, but that's expected once you see these huge run-ups, because especially a coin this is this small in value, you know, minor fluctuations can really affect it. You know, it's easier for a coin to go from 800 million to 1.6 billion than a coin that's 1.6 billion to go to, you know, 3.2 billion. So the larger the market cap, of course, the harder it is to move the coin forward. It's like almost like trying to say that Bitcoin at 260 billion is just, or right now 215 billion is just going to one day double to 430 billion. And that's the only way you can get 100% return right now if you had Bitcoin versus a coin like, for example, you take Emmer coin, right? 365 million. It's a lot easier for that to go to 700 million, and then you receive 100% return on that. So just something to keep in mind. I am looking at Electroneum for a potential breakout, and let's go ahead and look at our next coin here. We're going to be pulling up, let's see here, Tron. Everybody's talking about Tron. TRX BTC. See what's forming here. Let me go ahead and clear this. I was actually doing a couple of analysis here prior. But currently looking at the price levels, you can see we had this long period of consolidation. This was throughout the Bitcoin consolidation, as well as this huge run-up that we initially saw. Pulling up the one-day chart, you can see if we're looking at the 50-day moving average, we bounced right on top of that. So I think this right here acted as clear support for Tron. It was the first time we really saw it bounce off of that 50-day moving average. I think this would have been a perfect time for somebody to get a position in Tron if you were looking to get a position right here where we found the support at that 50-day moving average, which is currently right at 450 Satoshis. And then now we see this run up in price, almost like a bull flag is forming right here. Let's go ahead and zoom right in there and see exactly what's happening here. So you can see there's clear support levels. It looks like support levels are steadily decreasing, but very minutely. You can see here current support levels are at 654 Satoshis, and it looks like we're slowly descending away from this support level, which started right around 675 Satoshis, went down to around 660 Satoshis, and now we're at right around 650 Satoshis. So is that a bad thing for Tron? Not necessarily. It's minutely decreasing. It's not necessarily going too far down, but if this candlestick continues to run down, we can pull up that 1 hour and see a little bit of what's really happening here. This candlestick continues to start tilting down. It could indicate a slide in price. However, I wouldn't mind that happening because at this 50-day moving average, I am pretty confident that it's most likely not going to go beyond that, because you can see we bounced right on top of that. RSI dipped 3 times in a row under 30. There's a triple bottom right here. And in my opinion, if this coin can continue to see the amount of attention that it's seeing, we're going to see a lot more volatility. Volatility equals what? Money, right? That's why I liquidated all of my traditional assets, all of my traditional stocks and Forex into crypto in 2014 because of volatility. Volatility is the one thing that you need to make a lot of money, right? So it's going to be interesting to watch Tron. I think we need to give it a little bit of time to develop this graph out. Obviously, right now it's descending. However, that could always change, you know, especially because we just had that huge descending pattern occur since January 4th, and now we're seeing this starting to reverse as we hit that bottom here. So we'll continue to watch Tron, see where that starts to head. Obviously, there's a triangle forming here. This is going to get more and more narrow. If this breaks support, then we can possibly see it going back down to the 50-day moving average, where I would most likely put a position in. So I think we're seeing this because a lot of people are now trying to transfer their funds towards Bitcoin, because now obviously if we pull up the Bitcoin chart here, we'll break the rules a little bit. This isn't in the title, but we'll do the Bitcoin chart really quick. So I was also watching Bitcoin. I'll go ahead and remove this so we can do a fresh analysis here. But you can see price levels for Bitcoin. We had this initial run up, 20,000, consolidated down to that 50-day moving average around 11,300 or 12,500 at the time. And then we went back down to this around 9,200, where we bounced off of the 100-day. We'll pull up the one-day chart. You can see here the 100-day moving average is indicated here in green. We bounced right on top of that, which was around 11,300, where this was right around 12,500. So the 50-day was at 12.5, the 100-day was at 11.3, and then you can see the 200 days right around So I'm glad we didn't go beyond this point, because if so, we most likely would have went back down to this 200-day. I was expecting maybe even a $6,000 reversal until the reversal. However, for me personally, if you guys are patrons, you know I announced today that I had put my positions back into Bitcoin around the 11,300 to 11,900-ish range. I did a couple of different positions, and if you guys were updated on that, then you guys know exactly why I did that. And I'll tell you exactly why, because we bounced off of this 100-day moving average, which was around 11,300. This graph shows a little bit different because you can see this went all the way down to around 9,000. But if you pull up the 1 day, you can see a little bit of a clearer view on how we bounced on top of that right here. You can see bounced right on top. There was 11,100, 150 right there. And then you can see between there and around 11,900, and these levels are really where I put my positions back in. Being the fact that what I was looking for, guys, I've been through this many times before. I'm looking for stability. I'm looking for true support levels, and this was an emergency support level because it's something that we bounced off of in the past. You can see we bounced off of it here, we bounced off of it here, we bounced off of it here. So it was something that I was familiar with, and I know Bitcoin acts in this manner when coming down due to different reasons that are not in our control. Like for this, what happened here was really what South Korea and their news about potentially banning Bitcoin and so forth, that really brought things down. And then coin market cap, it's all South Korea's fault, right? I'm just kidding. Nothing against South Korea, but coin market cap, started disabling the averages, utilizing South Korea prices, and that also took a lot of confidence out of the market because a lot of people didn't realize that. So that's really where we saw this rundown, in my opinion. I think we should have really seen the breakout right here at this 50-day. We should have bounced on top like we did in the past, but we didn't see it this time. We went all the way down to that emergency support level. I put my positions back in. I'm very satisfied that I did because you can see now we're starting to run up. RSI is starting to rise, right? So in my opinion, as long as Bitcoin can get back to this 50-day moving average, what I'm really watching for right now, and if you guys are still looking to put a position in Bitcoin, that's completely fine, because as long as we can get back to this level, I think this is where we'll find some more support, maybe over the long term. Now that more futures, money is coming into the market, more institutional trading is coming into the market, it's going to start taming Bitcoin. We're not going to see as much of these large run-ups. So what I would do if I were you is make sure you get good positions in, because the volatility will start to decrease for Bitcoin as more institutional money comes into the market. It'll act more like the stock market, right? Where there's extreme stability in terms of prices. If you pull up like an Apple chart, I've done this in the past, and people like when I do this because you can see clear levels of stability with these moving averages. We stick right with those moving averages versus Bitcoin USD, where we fly away from this moving average quite often. So that's kind of my position right now with Bitcoin. I think this is going to influence the market in terms of the altcoin prices breaking out. That's why when we looked at that one price chart, I said for Tron, it may be the fact that people are starting to transition some of their money into Bitcoin, which wouldn't be a dumb move. I talked about this for the Patreons as well. If we actually look at market cap here, and we look at total market capitalization in terms of Bitcoin versus all these other altcoins, you can see we're starting to see this minor bounce. If we pull up the 1 month, you can see it a little bit better. You can start to see we pretty much hit bottom right around this level where Bitcoin was at 32.19%. Now we're starting to rise back up at 34.75%. If we pull up a 3 month, I think it might be a little bit clearer. You can see there we go. We hit that bottom. Now we're starting to find this ground. When you find this ground, it typically means you most likely found that bottom. If we pull up the 1 year, I think this could be even a clearer view. Yep, there you go. So bam, we found this, and then we started leveling out, and then typically you'll see Bitcoin's dominance recover after these huge rundowns. And I have a feeling we're going to see a little bit of a recovery here with Bitcoin. I think over the long term, 2018, maybe Q3 or Q4 of 2018, altcoins may have a little bit of a stronger tight hold and a strong grip over Bitcoin's dominance. However, I think for now, being that we saw this huge consolidation, I think more people want to put money in Bitcoin, and it just makes sense. The price is at around 12,800. I can start seeing it heading back into the $15,000, $16,000, $18,000 range to hopefully get back to these resistance levels at 19.6 and starting to test these again to have that next breakout to get more media attention into the market. And I think that's what's going to drive us to the $1 trillion market. I think as Bitcoin starts to regain confidence in the market, I think that right there is what initiates that. And by the way, this doesn't look like that emotional chart that everybody talks about, right? Now things are changing, huh? So you type in emotional trading chart, and this is something people talked about yesterday in our Night Owl. By the way, open Night Owl today, guys. If you're on our Discord, our Night Owl tonight will be under Voice 1 here, where Bro Jack is just chilling right there. We're going to have an open Night Owl, and then followed that by the Ruby Night Owl. But look, now it doesn't look like this, does it? So people are like, oh, this is exactly what's happening. Well, look, now we went up, down, and guess what? We're going back up. Where in here do you go back up? You don't go back up, right? So let's go ahead and see what happens at this point. So, you know, I think Bitcoin is acting on its own right now. I think there's more demand to be had for Bitcoin, in my opinion, and I think that's going to influence the overall market. So hopefully that gave you a quick synapse of my current position on Bitcoin, as I've been trying to express that to you guys for quite a bit now. I was able to do an audio version podcast. My podcasts are a little bit easier. I can go ahead and do those on the go, and I was able to do one for our patrons, and now I get to finally tell you guys what's popping here. So let's go ahead and look at VeChain, VEN, BTC. Take a look at price levels are heading right now. It's a little bit different than our other graphs today. This already looks to have a breakout that already occurred. We'll go ahead and delete this and go ahead and redraw some lines here. So we saw some clear support levels right around 36,660 Satoshis. We saw some clear resistance with this channel forming, a couple different resistance levels. Really the breakout occurred right here with this resistance of 47,668 Satoshis. This is really where we saw that breakout, where now that's become previous resistance, current support. So you can see here, we broke out of this channel. We were bouncing back and forth. These wicks were going up and down, up and down. You can even draw it out like right over here. You can see we were bouncing back and forth. We eventually saw this starting to go up. EMA started pointing up, broke right out of there. Buy volume came in, broke right out. This would have been an indicator right here to buy, by the way. For those of you that want to know how to buy a breakout, that would have been an indicator right there. Broke this resistance. There was previous resistance up here, so what I would have done is a layered strategy. If I was trading this, I would have seen these several different resistance levels. I would have also paid attention to this resistance level, and I would have watched this graph, and if I saw this initial breakout, 25% buy right here, 25% buy right here, 25% buy right here, and you would have been at a profit for each and every one of those, being the fact that we're testing resistance levels. When you test resistance levels with high buy volume, you break right through it, and that's how those breakouts occur. So looking at where this is headed right now, in my opinion, we broke through several different resistance levels. At this point, it's not free fallen, but free uprising right now, right? So it's really, it's going to go up to the point that it wants to go up. Remember, you can't determine magnitude. You can always determine price movements, but the magnitude is extremely difficult to determine because that's all based on demand. But you can see here, this EMA is pointed straight up, so there's obviously going to be more price increases for the most part. However, how far is it going to go? We don't know. Nobody can tell. But at this point, what I can tell you is, would I put a position in? Probably not. And the reason I say that is because we already saw the breakout, and you want to put a position in before these breakouts, right? This is a pretty substantial breakout from, let's just start with this support level, 46,000 Satoshis, currently at 59,000. So over 10,000 Satoshis right there. Who wants an extra 10,000 Satoshis in their pocket? Most people, right? So let's go ahead and pull up BTS, BTC. I'm pretty sure it does pull up here, doesn't it? Yes, it does. Polynix. So BitShares, awesome program. The reason I want to pull this chart up is because we actually hit this bottom here, and this was previous resistance levels. And I really like when this occurs because it gives you a little bit more confidence in these price levels, being that there's two correlations here. So correlations, if you're writing notes down, are a big aspect of trading. You want to look for different correlations because that could help you determine different price patterns, movements, and most importantly, indicators for support and resistance levels, which are extremely important. So looking here, this was previous resistance at one point that turned into this huge breakout, right? So once it broke this resistance, it didn't really see much before that, broke out, and then that's where we saw this parabolic run up where we just saw bam, 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 all the way up here where we hit top and then reversed from there. You can see a clear reversal pattern here. You got the head and shoulder forming right here. You got a minor left shoulder here. You got the minor right shoulder there. Then that neckline, top head right there. And then that ended up reversing down, Once that reversal occurred, we went down, found bottom ground right here where previous resistance was around 2,453 Satoshis. And then once we hit that price point, we saw that reversal forming this ascending channel. If you guys look at these support and resistance lines, you can see exactly what's occurring here. Bam, right there. And then we're seeing that top channel form right up there. And it's currently following within this channel. What I would do at this point, in my opinion, this is a good time to dollar cost average if you guys are looking to invest long term. However, if you guys are looking to swing trade this, there is a channel forming and it is an ascending channel. This could highly correlate to price movements heading up over the next couple of weeks. So I'm expecting BitShares to see some positive price movements, being the fact that before, let's say, December 18th is really where we saw price levels at the point that it's at now. And you can see before, when we had these run-ups, it started to see these major run-ups to these higher price points where we hit that peak top right here around 6,513 Satoshis. So I think this is going to be the level to watch and see, could we get back and test those levels. And overall, you can see we have this huge curve. So that right there also can indicate that this curve has finally finished, and now we're seeing a whole new pattern starting to form right over here as this ascends upwards. Because this isn't price movement that we've seen in the past. You can see we've seen these minor run-ups, but nothing like this where it's starting to ascend itself from that bottom position. So I'm going to be interested. I'm going to definitely be interested in watching this coin. I like BitShares as a long-term investor as well, being the fact that their program and what they do is extremely feasible. If you guys have used BitShares in the past, and you guys know, so I'm going to be watching that. One thing I do want to mention is if you look at this one-day chart, you can see here we're also under this 50-day moving average. To me, that's confidence in the prices at where they're at right now. Being the fact at one point you can see we were so high up from that one-day 50-day moving average, we were about 150% off. And even at one point at these high levels, we were already 67+% on top. You can see with this graph, we were extremely high. And then we've seen some high price levels for BitShares in the past at 14,000 Satoshi. So if I were to say what coin am I most bullish on right now out of what we talked about today, I would probably say Electroneum and BitShares. Those are the two that I'm extremely bullish on. Those are the two that I currently have positions already in. As you guys can see, I also have some Electroneum in my Electroneum wallet. And I think I got a small position, 13,603 ETN in this wallet. And I like Electroneum. You know, I think it's an awesome project. I think it has a lot of potential, and I like to put my money where my mouth is. So hopefully that helped you guys out. Now let's transition into our live stream podcast, guys. Thank you so much for watching if you guys are heading out now. But let's go ahead and dive into this live stream, guys. So who do we got online now? We got Jay Betson in the house, Francis McFadden, NJOC, Willie Moss, Jarg, Felipe, Ryan, Dennis, Francis, Endeavor, Marcus, Allen, Roush, HB, Claude in the house. Claude said, "Hi Naeem, it looks like BTC just crossed the third moving average to the moon." I love it, man. Yeah, man, we talked about it, dude. We talked about it this whole time we were talking about this moving average, man. I love it. You know, I love the fact that we're popping on top of this EMA right now. It's the first time we've been on top of this EMA since January 16th, which was a couple days ago, and we saw that huge consolidation. I think it's a great time to put in your Bitcoin purchases right now. I'm definitely putting in positions. Like I said, I put most of my positions already in right here. I don't plan to put any more sometime soon. I did put some big positions in. I am planning for Bitcoin to be a major part of my portfolio at this point. I did make some shifts based on some counsel that I received from mentors of mine. Tomorrow, Saturday, which is pretty much today, I am going to be meeting with another mentor of mine in Santa Monica. So that's where I'm currently at right now. So I'm excited to do that. But you know, definitely for me personally, my Bitcoin position is at an all-time high right now. Not all-time high, but kind of like how it was back in July. And the reason it was like that in July is because back then, if you guys look at this chart, around July is really when Bitcoin's dominance was so low. And to me, that's a perfect opportunity to buy Bitcoin, right? And I was able to ride this wave up. And this is really where I started to put more altcoins into my position. And guess what happened? And you guys know this. We were doing live streams around this time. I told you guys I'm putting more altcoins into my position, right? And then we saw this decrease in Bitcoin's dominance. We saw altcoins rise. And now we see this starting to stabilize. In my opinion, it's a good time to get that Satoshi value back into your pocket. Allow that one to increase your pocket, right? So hopefully that has helped. Yes, Claude, to the moon, brother. Good to have you. Somebody said Tron has no project. Some people are going to run that one up. No comment. Edward Urbano said, hey, bro, what's up, Edward? Good to have you on, man. Roush said, you read my name. Yes, I did. Amit, what up, Amit? Louis Luplack, good to have you on. Sultan Shakir, good to have you, brother. What else we got here? David Kendall, Dennis S., Justin Gray, Pablo, Emma Rose. What's up, Emma? Good to have you here. Emma Watson, right? Brian Rivers in the house. Good to have you, Brian. Esteban Lacasa, Jay Betson, Kay, Josh Bays, Louis Cruz. Let's take some requests, guys. Let's go ahead and post your requests up, and let's see what we're going to watch. Joshua said, you the man. You're the man, brother. Thank you, man. Thank you. Can you look up Deep Brain Chain? I am going to be doing a Deep Brain Chain ICO review. And the reason I say that is because Deep Brain Chain has been everywhere, in my opinion. Everybody's talking about it. It's one of these new privacy coins. If you guys don't know about Deep Brain Chain, don't worry, I see your request in my peripherals, so I'll get to that in just a sec. But everybody's talking about Deep Brain Chain and Deep Onion and all of these coins being these privacy coins. You can see, oh, look at that. That might be a good price level to buy. Is this on Bittrex? No, we can't do that, but we can do the KuCoin exchange. Maybe we can look this up really quick. This looks like a good coin, or at least a good graph, a technical. 158 million. I wouldn't mind investing in 158 million. Let's do Deep Onion too, see what's going on here with Deep Onion. 52 million. Okay. Also looking nice. Look, we're at low levels. I like those low levels. I don't like to see these high levels like you see with, let's do XRP, BTC, right? Or I'm sorry, this isn't TradingView. XRP, right? You see these huge levels, right? These huge run-ups. But this is still pretty consolidated compared to where it was, right? So it's going to be interesting to watch Ripple. I know Ripple is in the news. Lots of people are talking about it. But if we pull up the KuCoin exchange here, we can actually pull up the Deep Brain and see if this is a good coin to actually put a position in right now. I want to look at it a little bit closer in terms of technical analysis. And I know KuCoin actually allows you to do some really cool technical analysis, which is pretty awesome about that. So we have this pulled up right over here. So you can see here, this is that coin. Let's go ahead and pull up technicals here. Looks like a potential coin that I would want. Let's do the 1 hour chart here. Zoom right out. Nice. Look at that. So, you know what's crazy, by the way? Why does it say charts by... This pisses me off. It says charts by TradingView, and then you go to TradingView, you can't even pull this coin up. Come on. You know what I'm saying? Am I wrong? Let's go check. Am I wrong? I don't get it. Like, if it's on trading, if they're using the TradingView API, they might as well have it on there, right? What is it? DBC? Deep Brain Coin? Yeah, it's not there. I know it's not there. DBC, yeah. DBC, BTC. It's not there. So, whatever. Whatever. All right. So, looking at this chart right here, this TradingView chart that's not on TradingView, you can see here there's some support levels being built at 1,203 Satoshis. Oh, look at that. Look at that cup and handle breakout. I love spotting these. Whoop. Look at that. This is the handle. Pop right on top. These cup and handles are nice. These are some really good cup and handles. So you can see these run-ups and then peaked out right here on top. 4,703 Satoshis, it looks like it peaked out, and then looks like we're finding these lower levels here. Wait, 25 right there. Let's go ahead and see what's happening with this coin. In my opinion, we're starting to level out. I like the fact that we're leveling out. It pretty much has a channel being formed here between the support and resistance levels. Resistance is at 1761, support's at 1175. It looks like we're starting to see a little bit of some squeeze occurring here where prices are getting a little bit minimal, where support and resistance are consolidated. It looks like it's converging right now. I just don't know if this is going to drop down. I have a feeling this might not drop down. I have a feeling this might start to go up. It just looks like it, you know, just based on my trader's intuition, because these are lower levels right here. These are lower levels. And then we saw these huge run-ups. So, interesting. I think I'm going to continue to watch this over the next couple of days. I can't do so much on this chart. Maybe just because I don't know how to use it properly. But do they have lines that you can draw? It doesn't look like it. I heard somebody say they did. But anyways, we'll probably have to figure that out sometime. But cool request. Let's look at some other requests here. What do we got? Somebody says, how many days does it take for a cup and handle to form? Good question. So in the traditional market definition, you can see here, it says descending triangles, or I'm sorry, right here. A cup and handle, it gets its name from an obvious pattern it makes up on a chart. The cup is U-shaped, blah, blah, blah. In general, the right-hand side of the diagram has low trading volume, and it can last from 7 weeks up to 65 weeks. Now, here's the difference. So 7 weeks to 65 weeks is a good predictor for a stock like Apple, right? For Apple to form a true pattern, it's going to take a lot of time because you see there's not much patterns forming. You can see look, this is why it says it takes that much weeks. Look how long it took for this curve to happen for Apple. Started around April, and then it ended around the next year in February. So you don't see huge spurs of volatility like you do with coins like Bitcoin, for example, where there's all of these different patterns forming constantly. You pull up that 1 hour chart and see even more of these crazy patterns that are just constantly forming. And that's really why people are attracted to this market. So in my opinion, a lot of things in crypto speed up compared to traditional stocks and methods or principles that you follow in traditional stocks. For example, a correction in a traditional stock is over 10%. So if you were to type in market correction here, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. A market correction here is typically 10%. Let's see where it says it. So I'm sure it says it somewhere here. But a market correction definition here. A correction is a reverse movement, usually negative, of at least 10% in a stock. See, but the problem is in traditional stocks that works, but in crypto, you see these huge swings, 20%, 18%, 22%, 17%, 10%, 14%. So in my opinion, you triple what it is in, in crypto, you triple it. So a correction for me in crypto is about at least 30%. So while traditional stocks, it's 10%. For me, it's about 30% in crypto. So hopefully that has helped a little bit. Ryan Brown said, since you're on KuCoin, you should check out Bounty 0x. That's a good way to get me to do something. But let's go ahead and do it. I don't mind doing that since we're on KuCoin. So I'm guessing 0x is one of these coins right here. So what is the ticker? Okay, I can't find it. I'm not going to do it then. I'm just kidding. Let's do it here. 0x, 0ZRX. There you go. ZRX. Let's pull this coin up and see what's happening here with ZRX. Oh, that's not 0x. I'm sorry. I'm not. Bounty 0x. Okay, you said Bounty 0x. Let me see. Bounty BNTY. BNTY. There you go. Perfect. Let's go ahead and see what's popping with BNTY. Interesting pattern. You can see we found a bottom here at 2,031 Satoshis, previous resistance levels. That turned into support. That's always a good sign. You can always even determine possibilities of these run-ups with that. You can see here we peaked out right around 6,225 Satoshis. I think right now with what we're doing, we are forming this channel here. I would just trade within this channel and then just set up your stop losses under that support level. This is a pretty easy chart because you can see there's a clear support at 2,966 Satoshis. I'm sorry, 2,900 Satoshis. And then there's a resistance right at 3,956 Satoshis. I would trade within that channel. If it breaks out positive, that's a potential for a huge breakout. If it breaks out negative, that's a potential of a downtrend up to that support level of about 2,043. The reason I say huge breakouts because if it does break out, that means it's going to pass these resistance levels and probably hit these resistance levels. It may find resistance at these previous support levels, but typically that will accelerate it back up to these all-time highs. So we'll have to watch this. Hopefully that gave you a little bit of a synapse. Let's go ahead and pull up some other coins here, and let's look at Verge. Let's pull up Verge here, XVG, BTC, and see what's happening here with Verge. Let's go ahead and delete some of these graphs here. Everybody's talking about Tron, but everybody's not talking about Verge. So where's TradingView? There you go. So let's do XVG BTC. And then we're going to be heading over to our Night Owl tonight, guys. Our Night Owl tonight is actually going to be under our Discord. If you're not on Discord, don't be stubborn. This is an awesome application, guys. I know you haven't downloaded a new app in 10 years, but this is really going to blow your mind. It's a brand new social media application, and it actually took over that other one, TeamSpeak, and something like that. And we're going to be having a Night Owl under Voice 1 here. You see Pac-Man 3C is chilling here. Most people are up here in Lord Ray, but we're going to be under Voice 1 tonight. You can see somebody just joined in. It's going to be a full house. You guys can ask questions, plug in your mic, talk, or just listen in if you guys want to get all of that uncensored information brought straight to you guys. So that's going to be in our Discord tonight. Let's finish up some of these requests. I know we got some super chats. I do want to say thank you so much, Esteban Lacasa and Paul Lucas. We'll definitely go and do your request. Let's see if there's any VIP access requests as well. If you guys are VIPs, you guys are more than welcome to request something. Let's go ahead and pull this up here. Any other requests that you guys want to see in the chat? If you can post it on the YouTube chat here, let's go ahead and see what else you guys would like to look at. All right. Perfect. Perfect. Done deal. Somebody said VTC, Neo, Dogecoin, Salt Link, BNB. Exile Michael said APPC, please. APPC was forming a cup and handle, I believe, right? Let's not get out of this chart, actually. I do that too much with Verge. Maybe we'll look at it. We might not. We can actually do a double chart, but let's just do this really quick. So we have some support levels right here on 634 Satoshis. And it looks like we're starting to consolidate a little bit based upon this previous volatility. I think less attention is coming. You can see volume is starting to decrease a little bit less than it was previously here around January 1st and 2nd, where we really saw these huge run-ups and these huge swings of volatility with Verge. It looks like we found resistance pretty early on, right around 1,059 Satoshis. That's not necessarily a good sign. Hopefully we should have seen some sort of huge run-up there, but we didn't. Looks like we're also finding some support levels here on 852 Satoshis. You can see we bounced off of that support here with this bull flag, popped right back up on top of that. Hopefully we can stay within this channel. I think if it drops below this level, we'll come back to these support levels. And then if we continue to bounce around these low levels, there's a possibility we can start to consolidate back to these previous lows. But in my opinion, I don't think this is going to start to cross these support levels. I think if anything, it will play around between these support and resistance levels of 1,060 resistance and then 640 support. If we can play around within this realm, I think that would be good for Verge to kind of form that stability that we're looking for to eventually have these next run-ups to occur. So Verge is pretty simple. It's a coin that I've been looking at. Let's go ahead and look at these super chat requests. Esteban said, MED, they just burned coins hours ago and really promising project. Interesting. Let's do it. Med BTC. Oh, doesn't pull up, unfortunately. Let's do Med here. Mediblock. Let's see what we got. Negative 11, 13.3, 11.13%. Interesting. Well, there's only so much technicals we can do. Is it on KuCoin? Nope, it's not. Not a coin we can do a technical on, but interesting. Hi, mate. I'm a new subscriber. Nice to have you, Paul Lucas. I like the picture of your son or your daughter. Who is that? Your child. Nice. How did I miss you? You're a great YouTuber. What are your thoughts and predictions on ICX? Icon. Yeah, we'll look at Icon. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. Seriously, Paul. Let's go ahead and look at Icon, ICX, BTC, brother. I don't know how you missed me, but, you know, I'm glad you're here now. And let's see where these levels are forming. Looks like we have some strong resistance right around 8,620 Satoshis. That's right at the top of these levels. Let's go ahead and draw that out. Then it looks like we're finding some support levels around 5,400, 5,476 Satoshis. Looks like now we're starting to ascend. You can see this clear ascending pattern forming up to that top level. You can see that right on top right here as well. So there's a clear channel here, and it seems like we're continuously following this channel. Doesn't look like we saw an ascending channel until this ascending, or since this ascending channel. And then once we saw this ascending channel, it pretty much peaked out at that resistance, and then we formed that head and shoulder, which was an indicator of that reversal, where you see you got the left shoulder here, right shoulder here, head right here, and neckline right over here. If you guys don't know what a head and shoulders is, you guys can actually pull up the Discord resource available to you guys, and then you can actually see exactly why that is an indicator of a reversal right over here with the head and shoulder. You can see exactly how this looks. So there's that top left shoulder, right shoulder breakout right down here with the trend reversal. So in my opinion, since we had this reversal quite recently around January 9th, and now we're back on these resistance levels, I think that's good. That shows that it's starting to test these levels. What's going to be interesting to see is if it can break out of this resistance level right here, because it still hasn't, right? So if it can continue this positive trend up past this resistance level, I think that would be good news. If it starts to bounce, then I think we're going to see this bounce back and forth between this channel, where you can swing trade within this channel, day trade within this channel, and then if you're looking to get a good position, just wait until it gets down to the support level. So it could be high prices right now if it does start to bounce. So there's two ways this can go. I'll show you exactly how right here. And this could either, okay, let's not do that. Let's put that back, and then we'll go ahead and draw this out with a new graph, and then you can see here this will either bounce back around this way, so it would look like that, right? Come down here, bounce right on top of there, and that would be a good buy level. Or if it breaks through this level, then that could be positive, and that means you can see the prices heading through that, testing this previous resistance level. So I think that's really the two ways this can go at this point, based on the support channels that were formed. Another possibility is this would actually be a better case scenario, in my opinion, is we form another support level right here where we saw some strong support and channel forming. I'll actually draw this out right here. So that's another possibility. Instead of bouncing all the way back down here, we may bounce off of this. If that's the case, you can even put those layered trade strategies in, where you can maybe buy 25% here just in case. If you start to see it go back up here, buy 25% to eventually maybe sell right there, or wait for that breakout, right? Or you can wait to see, is it going to break out of here? If it breaks out, you can pop that in. So that's kind of what the technical looks like for ICX. And let's go ahead and check our VIP request box. It doesn't look like VIP. Mahmed said TNB. Good to have you, brother. Let's do TNB BTC and see what is happening here with TNB. Now let's pull up this coin market cap to look at the times new big. Oh, there's TNB. Nice. Yes. So looking at TNB, we were forming this rounding bottom. If you guys don't know what a rounding bottom is, I'll show you exactly what a rounding bottom is. It's a little bit different than a cup and handle in the way that it's formed, because instead of forming with the that run up like you see with a cup and handle, where you see this initial run up on this left hand side, it actually is the opposite. It comes from a descending pattern, but you see this run up minutely form into this cup, and then you see that handle almost occur there, but then a breakout occurs right on this right hand side. So like a cup and handle, but it's not, being that the fact that this, you can see, came out from this this descending pattern, and then we came into this cup, formed that handle here. In my opinion, I would label the handle right around this price level at this point, being the fact that it looks like it bounced on top of this resistance, which is exactly what we're looking to see. It doesn't look like the handle is formed just yet. It looks like the handle is just starting to form, because this is really where the rounding bottom started. So what I'm looking for right now, I typically like to play this with a breakout. So this could help out Mohammed a lot. So when you're playing a breakout, you're looking to see, is it going to go past these top levels, right? This was actually a trade alert we sent out for the Patreons, and I'll actually dissect it a little bit for you guys. I think this will help some of you guys out, so you have a better understanding of the phraseology behind it, because that really does matter when you're trading, right? So if you guys are signed up to Patreon, the link is in the description. If you guys are new, we do these trade alerts for our Patreons here. And I'm going to pull one up here so you guys have an idea of how this looks. So we did this trade alert, and this was a rounding bottom here, and as you can see here, it's a mid-cap coin. There's a rounding bottom. Volume is starting to increase, so you can see there's that volume that's increasing. RSI is healthy. RSI is here within that 30 to 70 range. Rounding bottom this morning, in this type of pattern, I like to buy at the breakout as I'm watching the top of the resistance level. This pattern is an indicator of future breakout as prices have declined and are now seeing a reversal in its overall trend. So what does it mean to buy at the breakout, right? That's a big question people ask. Well, buy at the breakout, it's used in trading when you want to make those large profits. It's more of a day trader or swing trader strategy. You don't necessarily want to buy at the breakout when you're value investing, but you can see the breakout would occur right on top of this level. If it does pass this level, which means this handle forms, it bounces back, and I'll show you exactly how that looks. So you get a little pointer here. So if it bounces right here on top, and then it breaks through that level, that is a potential of a run-up. What does that mean? Well, from a rounding bottom, you can see there wasn't too much support and resistance levels. It was just descending. That means it has all of its way to go up as far as it can, possibly hitting these previous resistance levels right around 0.00002. So once again, this is a mid-cap coin, so also be aware of that. So this hopefully can help you out, Mohammed. And that's pretty much how the rounding bottom is played for me personally. And the reason you wait for that breakout, by the way, it's called confirmation. So hopefully that assisted in some way, shape, or form. And we're going to start heading over to our night owl tonight, guys. I think our night owl last night went really good. We really, if you guys were there, you guys know how awesome it was. So I'll see all of you guys under the Voice One. Oh, wow, look at that fat packed house. We're all going to be under the Voice One chat tonight, guys. So I'll see you guys there at the night owl. And other than that, we're going to do APPC really quick, since that was also one of our trade alerts. So you can see here with APPC, we're currently forming that rising pattern. If we were to pull up 2 hour, I think this would be a better perspective here. So you can see where this occurred. The reason this isn't a cup and handle, I saw this on the Lord Ray chat actually. So if you guys don't know, we have these analysts on our Discord. We're going to be rewarding some new analysts soon. But if you go here, you can actually see these charts that people post. Somebody posted APPC, I'm pretty sure I saw it, and they had said it was a cup and handle, and I'll show you exactly why it's not a cup and handle, so you guys can actually get better at your future predictions. So this right here, that's TNB, no, TRX. Okay, I probably won't be able to find it here, but for the cup and handle to occur, this can't occur, right? This is a pretty elongated, overstretched downward trend. We saw this run up, so it's not a rounding bottom because we saw this run up. The run up wasn't, it was overstretched, it wasn't steep enough to call this a cup and handle, right? Now what really happened here, if you really pay attention, is there was an ascending triangle, right? How is there an ascending triangle? Well, if you look at this graph, you can see, pull up the 1 hour, stretch this out a little bit, and you can see here in this graph, these support levels were increasing. These resistance levels were set in place. You can see here, if we were to draw this line out, those resistance levels pretty much staying around that course, those support levels increasing for that breakout to occur. So that's why you draw these triangles out, right? Look, this right here would have been a clear indicator of that breakout, and now we're seeing it bounce. So in my opinion, for APPC, now that we're seeing this bounce, these price levels look pretty low compared to previous levels. So in my opinion, over the long haul, this could still potentially go further up, being the fact that we're under right now this previous support line, which was around 15,000 Satoshis, 15,900 Satoshis. Now that's acting as resistance. You can see that resistance level is right up here. So hopefully that gives you guys a little bit of a viewpoint on that. We're going to be heading over to our night owl, guys. We do have a lot of stuff and questions that we get in the night owl, so I want to definitely cover those. You can see we have a full house right now, so we're going to head over there. If you guys are not on Discord, get on Discord. On the left hand side, go all the way down to voice channels under voice_1. We're going to have this open night owl for you guys to answer questions. All of you guys on the live stream, I want to see all 484 of you guys if you can. And if you guys enjoyed this live stream, remember to like the video, and thank you all for watching tonight. It was a little bit of a shorter one, but I'm going to be in Santa Monica tomorrow, so I need to get some good sleep so I can listen to my mentor properly with a clear and level head. So take care, Felipe. Take care, Ryan Brown. Take care, David. Take care, Willie. Take care, Matt. Take care, Exile. Take care, Thomas Dill. Love you guys. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and Snipers out.